Greetings and welcome back to the Galley of the Sun. Last time we were in Las Vegas, we stopped here at the Strat at the Chi restaurant and had an absolutely amazing dish. I knew I had to go home and recreate it, and that's what we did. Check it out. All right, there's what it looks like in the restaurant. We'll see what we can do at the Oasis. All right, you heard the intro. As soon as I took my first bite of that dish, I knew I had to recreate it at home. So here we are on Bulgogi Fried Rice Eve. So we got a few things to do. Number one, we need to get the rice made so we can let it dry out overnight. In my trusty Ninja Foodie here goes 4 cups of rice and 6 cups of a mixture of water and coconut milk. Your Instant Pot may be different, but we found that with the Ninja Foodie, it is a 1.5 parts water to 1 part rice ratio that gives us the rice that we absolutely love. I'm going to give that a little stir, shut the lid and lock it, verify that the vent is sealed, turn it on, set it to high pressure, 2 minutes. Hit start and that's off and going. Now we need to get our marinade made and our meat prepared. This is the initial use of our 12-inch Cabela's commercial grade cutter. We did have a meat slicer before and it just wasn't getting us the thick steaks that we wanted, and it's really a pain in the ass to cut those steaks with hand. So decided to get a new meat cutter. Gonna test it out today for the very first time. What I have for meat is I have the end of a beef tenderloin that I used for filet mignons earlier, and I have a beef shank. So I need to cut these against the grain and get them thin. What better use of the new slicer? Take a look at our first slice there, and yep, I'm very happy with that. It's against the grain, perfect. Exactly what I'm looking for. And yes, this would have been easier had I left it partially frozen, but I didn't realize my meat slicer was going to arrive today. And there we go. Anything that I don't like the way it looks, I'm going to hand cut it. I'm going to get the meat taken care of, and then we're going to work on the marinade. Alrighty, I'm happy with where the meat is. Hopefully the director is. So we're going to go ahead and make the marinade now. I'm not going to talk amounts of the ingredients because I'm tripling this because of the amount of meat I have. What you'll find down below in the description section is the ingredients, their amounts, and the directions. And down there it's written for 1 pound of beef, where I'm using 3. So in no particular order, we'll start mixing our marinade. This here is some pureed Asian pears, minced garlic, mirin, brown sugar, honey, sesame oil, soy sauce, ground black pepper, toasted sesame seeds, and diced green onions. Now in our trusty Ziploc bag, we're going to get it sealed first, otherwise it's going to be a disaster. And then we'll get all that mixed up, especially making sure that you get the pear distributed and all your brown sugar that you packed in there all dissolved. Doesn't take much. All right, pretty happy with that. Oh, my Lord. Wait a second. Director, smell my meat juice.
What?
Ah. She likes how my meat juice smells. Awesome. So now we're going to chuck the meat into the meat juice, also known as marinade, if you're not weird. Okay, I'm going to wash my paws, get that all worked around. Give this the entire night to marinate. Don't short it and give it an hour or two. Do it the night before. You're going to be so happy with it. We'll see you tomorrow when it's time to do a little bit more prep and then put this incredible dish together. We'll see you then. All right, it is the day. Time to make the Bulgogi fried rice. So I am heating up my Blackstone griddle here. I have high heat on this side, lower heat on this side, and it's important to know which side is which. So there's a million different ways to do this fried rice, so don't judge. This is the way I'm doing it. First thing I'm going to do over on the higher heat side, I'm going to get my Bulgogi beef down, and I'm going to reserve as much of the marinade as I can. Because typically when you make fried rice, you're going to put a lot of soy sauce in it. I already have it in this incredible marinade, right? So if I can save enough of this marinade, that's what I'm going to use on my rice to season it. As I'm pulling this beef out, I'm sort of squeezing it, getting some of that marinade out of there. And really I can see that the beef has soaked up most of that marinade, so that plan's not going to work. So I'm just going to dump the whole thing down. It was a great thought, wasn't it? So as I'm making my Bulgogi fried rice, I'm going to be using these badass spatulas from Halo. I was inspired by Doug from Griddle Cook Eatin' More. These things are awesome. They're a spatula and they're a scoop. You can see the sides there. And it doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed, you're good to go. These things are going to come in handy making this fried rice. Alrighty, so I've ran back inside. I got my soy sauce standing by now. As the beef's cooking on that side, I'm going to get my eggs done over on this side. Totally optional. Fried rice. You can make it however you want. Personally, I absolutely hate peas, so there's no peas going in this at all. But if you want to add peas, add peas. If you want to add eggs, add eggs. Just don't let the eggs go down your grease trap, because that's a waste. As my eggs are cooking there, I'm going to hit them with some spices. I've got this South African smoke from Trader Joe's. Once your eggs are about 50% to where you want them, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I got them good and chopped up. Now I'm going to put them right back in the bowl. Of all of my ingredients here, the carrots are going to take the longest to cook, so I'm going to put those down. I got some finely diced carrots here. And we're just fat, dumb, and happy right now. We're going to wait till our beef gets about 50% to where we want it. I am so smooth, you didn't even notice that I ran out of gas there and had to change bottles. Always have an extra ready. I cannot say enough about these scoop spatulas from Halo. They are freaking awesome. Okay, I'm liking where my meat is. I still have plenty of the Bulgogi marinade on the griddle. Now I'm going to scoop all of my meat over here to the lower heat side. Over here on the higher heat side, I'm going to put down about a half stick of butter that I cut up. Get that spread around a little bit. So on that goes our 4 cups of coconut rice. We're going to get that good and chopped up. Make sure we soak up as much of that Bulgogi marinade that was left behind as possible. We're going to let that go for just a couple minutes. As we're waiting, hit that with some more of the seasoning. Now we'll start mixing that in with our beef. And I'm going to bring all 3 sides up to the same heat now, about medium-high heat. Now we'll add, I don't know, about a 1/4 cup of soy sauce to it all. And then bring in all the rest of the ingredients. The eggs go back in. I've got minced garlic here, a little bit of ginger paste, some baby corn, and a bunch of water chestnuts. Absolutely love these. And some diced up green onions. Now we're just keep mixing that up and cooking it until we feel like we're ready to go in. And one more thing, gonna add some toasted sesame seeds. Sesame. All right, let's get this scooped up, get it inside, and get some judgment. You can see how awesome these spatula scoops are. All right, the rice is inside. Now all we got left is to find out if it tastes worth a damn. Now, the only person in the family who wasn't there in Las Vegas to try this is going to try it. She'll tell us if it's good or not. I'll tell you if it's as good as it was at the Stratosphere. It's obviously hot, but how's the flavor?
Very good.
Is it the best bulgogi fried rice you've ever had?
Yeah, it's very good.
Ah, there we go. All right. So I'm going to give it a real quick try and see if it's as good as what we had at the Stratosphere. Oh yeah, I nailed it. So definitely, you want to try this recipe. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hey, leave us a comment. Where are you watching from? Have you been to Las Vegas? Have you been to the Stratosphere and tried the bulgogi fried rice? If you haven't, you need to either go there or try it just like we did in our video. Thank you so much for joining us today. Until we see you next time, fair winds and following seas. So we'll get the blade set, get our meat in there, and start a slicing. Apparently it needs electricity.